It's the final countdown. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Last episode, my guy. One more episado left. How you feel about that?
I feel like this episode was too slow for there to only be one more episode. This next episode has to be action jam-packed. It has to be.
It's leading up. It's going to. It's the final conversation between all these different groups. By the way, welcome to the Superboys episode of
Just a couple of guys.
Of Marvel's A Couple of Guys. That's what we're reviewing. Marvel's A Couple of Guys. With your host Isaquito and your co-host, the man with a plan, the most ferocious Yoshi there is to exist.
That's your boy Hobbs.
And not Cali, California. Maybe Texas, California.
Might be moving to Austin.
Maybe Virginia, California.
Out in the wilderness.
North Carolina. Carolina.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Okay.
Staying off those cigarettes, right?
Oh my
God. Well, all I can say is what a way to start the fucking episode. What an intro. I remember when we were watching that last night with Carol. She's like, that was just the intro? You know, like when they finally showed the fucking Falcon and Winter Soldier thing.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked the fight. I liked the idea of like the conversation between Falcon, Winter Soldier, and John Walker's Captain America. But the choreography itself, I was not a fan of.
Really?
I felt like they dropped the ball in this one. I felt like the choreography with Winter Soldier fighting those regular dudes in Madripoor was better than the choreography in this one.
There was a couple moments where I was feeling, again, they're making Winter Soldier a little too weak. Mm-hmm. And then, but 2 seconds later, he's strong again.
Yeah.
So, is that what you're talking about?
No, not like the way it looked, like the fighting, like, so compare this to like Winter Soldier. Like, the way they would move together. I felt like it was kind of like, guys, you guys have stepped up the game with fight choreography. Why are we stepping it down? Why is the fighting looking kind of lame?
Well, I'll tell you why. They started to make it darker again.
So Javi, we're going to make the next episode, they're going to fight in a dark warehouse.
But it wasn't as bad as the first episode in the plane. That was, you can't tell what's going on. But for this, they just made it a little bit darker to hide that stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It's not like it was a bad fight, but just like, you guys have done great. How it started off when it's like, time to go to work. And then, he steps up. He's like, you don't want to do this. My man's Bucky. Yeah. We do. Yeah! And then he goes in there for the punch, and then that's how the fight starts. Like, dude, I'm loving what they're doing with Bucky. Honestly, I'm a fan of this character. I really like.
Are you talking about Walker right now?
Yeah, John Walker. At the end of the day, I think I'm going to really enjoy this character because I see it as like a Shakespearean tragedy of like this guy, of like this soldier. Mm-hmm. Like, you even see it in the courtroom. It's like, I did everything you wanted me to do. Everything you told me to. Everything you sent me out to do. I did it. And then like I was just breaking down because he's literally been that guy who's done everything his country has told him to. Him trying to become that Captain America, but still, it brings it. I just can't fucking talk. It brings it back to the first Captain America when the doctor went up to Steve. He's like, "Don't be a good soldier, be a good man." And then that's what happens when you focus on being a good soldier instead of being a good man with like the serum running through your body. Before he took the serum, he was asking him, would you have taken the serum? He's like, hell yeah, I would. And then he's like, can you imagine all the lives we would have taken would have saved if we had the serum? And he did have the serum at the moment, and he still lost his friend. So that's what I felt like kind of hurt me more. Like, oh, dude, you did have the serum running through your body, and your bro still died in front of you. And that's what made him snap. Yeah. And he's like... And he started chasing the dude and killed him. I'm really liking this character. It's gonna turn him into like this evil version of Captain America, and I'm excited for this final fight.
Something I was thinking about him too, though, is did he really think the guy that he killed it, and he just lost sight, and it's just a rage, and he thinks that's who really did it, or is he lying?
At first, I thought
he was just lying.
Yeah, I thought he was lying.
Maybe.
Like he really did think,
it.
Yeah.
Like he might believe it.
I thought it was just just the heat of the battle. Who's the guy closest to me? I'm gonna kill that person. At first, that's how I thought it was gonna go down. But watching this episode and rewatching is did he really think it was that guy who killed him? And then he just doesn't want to accept that it was somebody else because he doesn't want to admit fault or that he was wrong. Yeah. I think that's really where it's going. It's he just doesn't want to admit that it wasn't him who killed his partner Lamar.
He doesn't even want it to be a possibility. He's like, no, I got it. It's right.
Yeah, that scene with his parents when he was talking to him,
because at first I was like, oh, why is he's just a liar?
But liar.
Now I'm thinking back, it's maybe he really he wants it to be true, so he's not thinking of any other options, or he just
going up to that
Really
scene,
believes it.
yeah, when he's talking to Lamar's parents, I think before Lamar's parents, like he really did think it was him, but when he's talking to them, I think that's when he's finally realizing that it wasn't him, and it was what's it called, Carly. So when she started talking to him about like, oh well, I'm pretty sure he's resting easy knowing that the person who killed him got justice and everything, because you can see eating inside of him. So it's just like, oh dude, I'm loving the buildup of this. It's like, oh, he's gonna go guns ablazing, especially with like that post credit scene where it showed him building that 50 cent shield.
Yeah, I know. Like he's really lost his mind. He's even welding his I don't know what metal.
Some medal of honor. I'm pretty sure, something like that. Yeah,
he's losing his grasp.
It's like,
his
I
grasp
am Captain
on
America.
reality.
Yeah, I'm excited.
He's using some mild steel,
some grade 5 or 55 or up in that bitch.
And I don't know what he's thinking.
The reason why I'm also excited with like the way this character is going, because they mentioned the raft with Bucky and Zemo's confrontation. That's one thing I also really like. That when they're in Sokovia, and then Bucky pulls out that gun, it's like, and drops the bullets, and you see that the bodyguards show up and then take them away. I like that they mentioned the raft because, dude, I am a fan of Edward Norton's Hulk, and I feel like a lot of people still to this day think that that's not a part of the MCU.
Oh yeah, it was the first MCU movie.
It was the second one because it was Iron Man and then that one.
I thought the Hulk came out first.
No, the Hulk came out second. Yeah, they came out the same year though. That's probably why. You think, but like, yeah, they literally came back to back. So it's the first Iron Man, then Edward Norton's Hulk, and the reason why I'm liking it is because Kevin Feige has admitted that guy Abomination, he's in the raft. So he's not that. The raft is that super jail prison in Civil War. They actually showed it.
Oh,
remember?
Yeah.
Where they were being held in the ocean. That's the raft. So what's it called? So the fact that they're mentioning it more and more, I'm noticing it within
something
like
might happen there.
Like I'm a sucker for it. Like in the comics and TV shows and movies and cartoon shits that I've watched with the superheroes.
Think we might get some like Sinister Six type deal.
Yeah, that's what happens. Like the raft, they end up breaking out and some kind of like anti-team, whatever. It's like, oh, so I'm hoping wherever this ends up, John Walker's Captain America gets sent there. So now we have confirmation that Abomination is there. And then now Baron Zemo is there. Like he could be the brains of the operation. It's like, oh, the possibility of like an anti-Avengers team going on is like...
That'd be pretty cool.
It's getting there. I'm getting pretty excited.
That'd be really cool. Let's take it back to little homages that I've seen. Going back to the first fight scene, I feel like a lot of stuff happened there.
Yeah.
Like when they're trying to rip the shield off his arm. Do you see anything?
Yeah. So what do you mean?
Remind me a little something with Thanos and a
gold glove.
Yeah.
With the gold with Spider-Man. I almost got enough. Oh, dude, when that snapped, it's like, oh, just the way he snapped his arm. Which Nick was bringing up that he should have been fucked up more when they collided with that shield. And I heard you say it. We need a breakdown of that fucking shield. What can or can't you do?
Yeah.
Because I'm just questioning. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I don't get what the shield.
What?
Its full potential.
What can you do? What can you or not do, my guy? Because I am constantly questioning every time I see it do something in a movie or a show. But with John Walker, his like the way he's snapping, it really brings it back to Baron Zemo and him talking about the danger of super steel.
Oh, I got another thing that I'm curious if you caught it. The Falcon did this one.
With what?
In that fight scene when he was trying to get the shield, nothing popped out to you?
Like what?
I think he tried to pull a Spider-Man.
What do you mean?
In Civil War, when Spider-Man jumped out and stole Cap's shield with the web.
Yeah.
You're telling me that's not what Sam was trying to do when he grappled it?
Well, they're trying to take that shield away from this dangerous man. I'm sorry, baby Grogu. He's not a baby. He's 50 years old.
Yeah, that's fine. He's piercing his ears and everything.
He's going through a phase right now. Oh, well. Well, yeah, but they're trying to take the shield away from this dangerous man. Yeah. It's like, oh, we can't let him fucking get the shield back. That's also another reason why I'm liking John Walker's Falls, because it brings back to Zemo's fear of super soldiers and their it can lead into these ideologies, like he brought back Red Skull and then, Hitler and all that. Hitler wasn't a super soldier, but he's talking about like people with that much power when they're put on pedestals, the danger that they can bring to a whole society. So I like how they're treating John Walker. After this episode, I don't like Carly. I've officially.
Really?
I was on the off. Like, do I like her? Do I not? Whatever. I understand her and her reasoning. I'm totally for it. Like if anything, this episode made me feel like her her rising, her revolution makes more sense because the GRC at the end in New York, when they're trying to figure out what to do with all these refugees that are spent, like they're trying to kick them out of these new homes and send them back to their country of origin. Like, dude, that's fucked up. You know, it's like, that's some bullshit. Like, no wonder all these people are going behind Carly. But I think the reason why I don't like her is because the throwback to like, oh, you know, I used to think Captain America was my, you know, I was a fan of Captain America when I was a little kid. Looking at you, I didn't think that there would be a next Captain America, but you're the Captain America that we need. And then, you know, when he was telling her all this shit at the graveyard, and I'm thinking like, this bitch is turning evil. Like, you know, well, not evil, but just like, that's not what Captain America would do. And then, you know, she's talking about like...
She didn't see herself like that, though. That's someone else.
Yeah, I think that's why I don't like her, though, is because people are starting to compare her to who she is. She's this great person. I'm like, no, like, she's willing to get shit done, but what's it called? Like, even her own henchmen, her own, like, fucking partner is like, oh, we're working with criminals. Now, you've heard the news. We're criminals. We're working with criminals. You know, and all that. Yeah. Like, so I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I don't. I'm starting to not like her.
She still has my attention.
Yeah. I don't hate her, but I am not a fan of her. When she did that speech of, they're not going to stop, not unless we make them. You know, it's really showing her losing her grip, you know, and all that. And I don't know. I'm not a big fan of her. I feel like I'm just going on and on. Go ahead. Well, how do you feel about her? While I turn off this phone.
I feel the same. I feel the same about her. She hasn't done anything to make me sway. You know what I think?
Make you sway?
Yeah.
I hope she dies in the next episode. I hope John Walker
God.
Dude, if John Walker ends up killing her,
dude, I just have a lot to say about just the first scene, the opening.
Oh, you still want to talk about it? Go ahead, bro.
Oh my God, there's so much. Dude, the bloody shield. What? It's beautiful to me.
Yeah,
it's almost poetic.
And how he's like trying to wipe it off at the end finally when Sam gets it. You know, bringing it back to the intro, I loved how Bucky gave the shield. It's the shot of like, you know, they finally fought. They finally finished fighting, and you see Bucky with the shield, and the way the light is just angled on him, and he looks down at Sam, and then just drops the shield and gives it to him, and then deuces out.
And then what happened to Bucky's arm?
What do you mean Bucky's arm?
When he got thrown, and then
I think it hit something electrical, and then I guess
you don't
that's
think,
his weakness.
You don't think it was the arm messing up? You think he hit something?
Yeah, he got thrown into something electrical. I think it was a forklift or something, so maybe he hit the battery part of it or something. I don't know. Whatever.
I don't think that's where the battery is on a forklift.
Yeah, I don't know, my guy. All I know is like he got thrown into something by crazy John Walker, and it started because you see electricity going on for a cool minute when he got dropped, when he was benched in that fight.
What was your favorite part of that fight? Like favorite move?
My favorite moment was honestly when John chucked the shield, and then, you know, kind of like a throwback to Winter Soldier, if we're talking about throwbacks and mentions, whatever. In Winter Soldier, when Cap threw the shield... No. When Winter Soldier threw the shield, Cap caught it, and it kind of like forced them back. Mm-hmm. But with this one, it wasn't it was, he got, whoa! And then he got chucked all the way back to the part of the warehouse. Like, yeah. John Walker threw that with... force. Yeah. With force, yeah. That was probably my favorite moment of the fight.
Yeah, that was a good moment. For me, though, I'd have to say I don't remember which one picked up Walker and slammed him into whoever was holding the shield. A little alley-oop for you. A little wombo combo.
The only thing I can think of is when, what's it called? John is fighting Winter Soldier, and then when they're trying to stop him from getting the shield.
One of them picked him up like a baseball bat and slammed him into the shield.
Oh, at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was at the end after they snapped his arm, and there's like, that belongs to me, and it's like, stand down, and then he goes to fight fucking Winter Bucky, and he grabs him and gets ready to slam him, and then Sam's like, here's my chance, and then hits him with the shield. Yeah, that was at the end of the fight. That was pretty dope. Cali, California. What was your favorite part of the fight? Or what'd you think of that fight, that whole intro?
That was just crazy for a beginning. Like, that was all a beginning. I thought the intro already happened, but I liked it. It was pretty crazy when they just destroyed his arm that one day.
Oh, yeah. When we first watched that last night, everyone's like, oh! It just fripped out when you just hear that crack on.
Yeah. It was really good. I feel like, honestly, that intro, if you would have just shown me that intro and then like, oh, credits, like, that was a good episode.
Those 5 minutes were amazing. Yeah. Next episode, show me. Since we're talking about Sam and Bucky in that fight, with Bucky, I'm really liking. Oh, let's talk about Sam first because I really like this episode because it's showing Sam trying to figure out the legacy of the Shield and the legacy he wants to build. Because like that's I'm starting to understand more of why he didn't want to accept the Shield at first because he's still trying to figure himself out, his own legacy, and then him talking to Isaiah. Bro, like when you find out about Isaiah's origin of like how he went through the super soldier serum process of like it was a tetanus shot. Dude, I love the way he sounds too. It's like, oh, I need more scenes with Isaiah. I love the way he fucking sounds. His voice, good. His voice. He has a good voice. It
hit too close to home for me because I don't know if you realize about me, but I'm not a big fan of government. I'm like, that sounds exactly like our government. That's what they would do.
Yeah, like that is Javier Baez right there talking to Sam. With the origin, I really like that. Dude, that's the same origin as fucking Cap, except the whole, how exactly he got into the army. But his buddy, he found out that Bucky got captured, so he ended up going against orders. Yeah, he went against orders and saved an entire platoon, and that's what he did. But what he ended up getting, fucking the big old middle finger, and ended up getting erased from history and tortured and trying to figure out how we can duplicate this fucking serum. It was really sad. It was just like, damn, dude, this guy. No wonder he's like, if you ain't bitter, you ain't then you're blind, or I forgot what he told Sam.
That's what he said.
Yeah, so I'm glad that they brought him back, but I was hoping it's like, I want him to throw in a couple of dukes, like I want him to actually in a fight.
I thought he was gonna grab the shield and do something with it. Honestly, when he was like, "Oh, is that what I think it is?" I was like, "Ooh, what are you gonna do?"
They're gonna fight back here.
I was like, "Damn it!"
So Sam, trying to figure out this legacy, finding out about the Shield's legacy, his training. How do you feel? That's when I talked about earlier how you brought it up. Yeah, there's a little montage about. I was like, we need to find out what that Shield can do. That's when you brought it up.
It doesn't make any. Well, the montage, I like the montage, but the Shield didn't make any fucking sense in that training.
Same here. I was questioning it the entire time. I was like, ooh. Is it the angle, the way you throw it? Is that what determines if it's gonna slice through something or crash into something, or if it's gonna bounce back?
Before the montage. When it was both him and Bucky, it went like halfway through that tree.
Yeah.
That was a thick tree. Yeah. So it's not going to go through those little bags. Mm-hmm. I don't know. That doesn't. I don't know about that.
But this Sam is definitely going to be the Captain America with style, my guy. You see that triple backflip he did to catch it? Boom! He kept practicing.
What did my guy do? Cheerleading in high school?
It's all those barrel rolls that he did. Oh, and I think it was episode 2 where he started noticing like that kind of that broship. Well, not necessarily broship, but that chemistry.
That they're becoming friends.
Yeah, they're like chemistry. So I really like that they focused a good part of this episode
when they were
that.
fixing the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
when
like
fixing
that
the
too.
boat. My man's. The reason why I wrote down, you're like, oh, are you
Sarah.
Bucky? Yeah. That's why I wrote down. He's like, hi, I'm Bucky, and then Sarah's like, Sarah. I was like, oh, get it. My man's Bucky. He's trying to get up in that Louisiana style. What's called? Is that where they're at? Right?
I don't know.
But he even brought it up. He's like, and don't flirt with my sister, or else I'll have whatever the name is, like cut you up and feed you to the fish. Yeah. So I really like that, like the little montage of them trying to fix the boat. I didn't even notice it the first time I watched it, but watching it with you, it kept showing fucking Sam trying to take that piece of plate off of the boat.
Oh yeah, it showed it a lot.
Yeah,
and
they kept
Bucky
showing it.
Just came over.
Honestly,
There you go, son.
Done. You're welcome.
Well, just like too, when they're like, "How are we getting off the truck?" and Bucky came and took it off. It's like, yeah, they probably would have spent the whole day trying to get that off the truck.
Having like 10 of those dudes like, come on, lift. Bringing up that moment, bro, I hate how they tease this because right after that, he's like, oh, I'm just here, just sign, and I'm on my way, and he shows the box, and then as soon as I see this, like, that's the favor he asked. My man is gonna get an upgrade. He's gonna get fitted.
I was so ready for the new drip.
Yeah, and they kept showing the box. As soon as the third time they showed the box, I'm like, oh, they're not gonna show it to the next fucking episode of what he's gonna look like. So at the very end, when it shows them opening it, I'm like, damn.
So is it safe to assume it's vibranium now?
Oh,
vibranium wings?
I'm fucking positive it's
right?
vibranium.
It has to be.
Because the arm is vibranium, right? Yeah. So I'm like, ooh, my man Sam. Like, I already love fucking Winter Soldier's fucking vibranium arm. So I can just imagine a dripped out fucking vibranium wings.
Dude, and aren't his wings supposed to be sharp too?
Yeah.
Some sharp
Yeah. My man's gonna
wreck. Yeah,
he's dangerous. Get him off the streets. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. They were teasing. They kept teasing, and it's like, dang, I knew they were gonna show it to the next episode. What's called? Oh, we're talking about the new suit and everything. And then right before we find out about the Flag Smashers being in New York, we see Sharon on the phone with LeBrock or.
I don't know who she was on the phone with.
She was on. I forgot the name of the French dude, but he shows up at the end. Remember the
Is that
guy?
Who she was on the phone
that's
with?
who she was on the phone with.
Okay.
I'm losing my nerd cred. I can't believe Batroc. Yeah, Batroc is his name. But some people, Nick thought that was confirmation that she's the power broker. I think that shows that she is not the power broker.
Why do you think that?
Because the power broker hates Carly and wants to kill her ass. So remember, because he keeps telling her like, "Oh, little girl, you've had enough fun."
Yeah, so that could be her in.
That could be her in, but like I think right then and there, my man's. So the next episode, if Batroc does not kill her, she's not the power broker. Like I felt like she is definitely this girl's contact.
It depends. So it depends what happens. So he definitely hates Sam. So I think that's his first priority.
Yeah.
Even if she's the one who got him in there so he could kill Carly, he's going to kill Sam first. Yeah. So if he gets fucked up in that fight and just never gets the chance, it just can throw a wrench in her plans.
Yeah, but I think this is. I feel like Disney's little ways, like, they were showing that she is a power broker, but really she's not. They're just like hinting, they're teasing at us.
That's why I think it's a possibility.
If they didn't show that phone call, I would have still had her. But because they showed that phone call, I'm like, oh yeah, no, she's not the power broker.
Then who is she if she's not the power broker?
I think she's the one who helped them get the serum. She's definitely like that's how. Because remember, you're asking me like, how the fuck did they find out about what's going on in Madripoor about the scientist dying? I think she's the contact with them. Like she's the one who like is still in contact with them. So Sharon is helping the Flag Smashers, and it makes sense. That would make sense because she got pissed off.
It could be Torres too.
Oh,
he keeps popping up randomly. I don't know why his
hate my man Torres.
He's all over Sam's
doing his duty.
He's just trying to have a small conversation with
Sam. He looks up to Sam,
and and just immediately his eyes are drawn to the bag. Oh, what's going on here? Yeah. Let me touch it.
I'd be too. That would have been the first things like, whoa, Sam, what the hell is going on, dude? What's fucking going on with the fucking wings? How's your day? Fucking going in the bag.
And then in the first episode, he's tech savvy, right? It showed that Taurus is tech savvy.
A little, yeah.
So are we seeing a new mini Falcon? Maybe in the making?
Probably. Oh, he does have the wings. He
has the wings now.
He has the wings now, the OG wings. So he might be.
And he's going to use them for evil?
I don't think so. I think he's gonna be good. Anything else you want to say?
No. It was a good episode. A little slow, so I'm expecting quite the show next week.
Quite the show. Yeah. The way it's leading up to, I'm really liking because like it's gonna be the final we're gonna show Falcon dripped in Wakanda, fucking tech. Then we're gonna have Winter Soldier, Bucky. That's one thing I wanted to bring up. When he's having that tough love talk with Sam, and then he's like, you were only apologizing because you thought it would make you feel better, but what about the people who actually need closure? He's like, there's about a dozen. It's like, we'll start with one. I know which one he's gonna go to, and I hope that's what it starts with.
Of course.
I hope the first 5 minutes of the next episode is him talking to our man, his wingman. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
Already.
What if we find out he was an old spy and he fucking goes for Bucky's throat?
Oh yeah, I remember you think that's your theory that he was an old spy. Yeah. I don't think he's an old spy, but just I can't wait for the heart. There's two ways I want that to go down. The first 5 minutes of the episode or the last 5 minutes of the episode. I want this to end in kind of like a tragedy.
I would like that for the last 5 minutes.
The last 5 minutes.
I wouldn't be upset with the first 5 minutes, but the last 5 minutes, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I think that would be nice
way to end it.
Bucky finally dealing with, well, not necessarily dealing, but like admitting to like what he did, and all that, and finally giving that man his peace, because that's what he said was eating him up the most. He didn't know how he died. So like, I want this to end on a heartbreak. I want this to end with my man Bucky walking away with one single man tear coming out. I don't know this much, but that's one thing I'm looking forward to. And then also, so Bucky.
Hey, what's the time? What's the time frame on this too? When is this taking place after Endgame?
Kira. Hey, young DC on the mic. Do you mind double checking when does Falcon and Winter Soldier take place after Endgame? I believe. Oh yeah, they didn't even confirm because this was supposed to come out before WandaVision. This is supposed to come out before WandaVision, but whole COVID thing ended up happening. I don't know how COVID ended up making it. When does Falcon and Winter Soldier take place after Endgame? But for some reason they ended up like, we're gonna drop WandaVision first now, and then Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I wonder why.
So
that really makes sense.
It
Yeah.
says the Falcon Winter Soldier takes place after Avengers Endgame and the events of WandaVision.
Okay, so
After
WandaVision
that.
was 3 months, so
not too
four,
far after that.
4 or 5 months, 5 months tops.
So are we gonna? So they're in New York right now.
Falcon Winter Soldier set about 6 months after the Avengers Endgame.
Okay.
Oh, look at you. You got some good maths. Good maths in that
Quick
noodle.
math for you. 2 + 2 is 4. I forgot how the song goes already.
But so they're gonna be in New York for this next episode. I don't know. You might see a little friendly neighborhood guy roaming around.
Spider-Mans.
Yeah, maybe.
That would be cool. Seeing some superhero, because like that is, again, this is Avengers level threats, my guy. Like, how are people Avengers not showing up?
But now you're just in one of their neighborhoods.
Yeah.
You know.
And now somebody's gonna notice that going down. Like, there's an evil Captain America running around trying to kill this revolutionist. Is like, I'm pretty sure at least Spider-Man would step up in that. But I wouldn't be surprised if they don't. But it would be cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't either.
Yeah,
But
it would
it'd be cool.
for
It'd be
sure.
really cool.
Yeah, but the next episode is gonna be the final confrontation. It's gonna be the lead up. I hope John Walker kills her, because that really will define him being evil. And then they have to like team. And then so I don't know what's gonna go down because Batroc is also involved. So he's gonna go after Sam, but is Falcon gonna go after Carly? Winter Soldier gonna after Carly, and Carly who's gonna go after? I don't know. It's gonna happen.
I think Walker's definitely going to go after Bucky.
I am sad that. Oh yeah. I think Walker's for sure gonna go after Bucky. I am sad that Zemo's story ended though, because not necessarily ended, but the whole Wakanda bodyguards going after him, because I thought that would have been extra juicy. Because who else would be involved in this fucking fatal fucking 5-way going on? Wakanda, so it's Bucky, fucking Winter Soldier, John
Wakanda pops
Walker,
out.
Carly, and Wakanda in this final showdown. That would have been
That'd
fucking
be
cool.
But Wakanda even being a part of the show is what gives me maybe a little bit of hope. Like maybe Spider-Man might make an appearance.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a short thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like or even if honestly, I'd be super happy if it was just even his boy. It's just his Ned. Right?
Ned,
Yeah.
his man in the chair.
The man in the chair. I'm watching porn. My man took the L. He took the bullet. He is a ride or die. So that was that's really what I got for this episode. What was your favorite moment of this episode? I didn't even realize. I didn't even talk to you about that. What was your favorite part of this episode?
It's probably the intro, man. That intro fight.
Yeah, you
Killed
love
it
that
for me.
intro.
Yeah.
That was a hell
I
of
wish
an
it
intro.
wasn't as dark in the warehouse, but other than that, yeah, it was a good intro.
My favorite moment was honestly probably John Walker's his testimony, or like when they were
When he was in the court.
Yeah, when he was in the court, and then him talking about like, yeah, bro, he gave up his entire life for this country, and then just like that's when it really, and I was like, oh, dude, I love this character. Him as a villain, obviously, is like, because when he first showed up, people were just hating on him, was like, oh, that's not my cap, that's not my, I hate this guy. I'm like, obviously he's not gonna replace Steve Rogers, but just
Right.
like let's just see where he goes. I think it's probably because I already knew he was like in the comics he was a villain, so like it's just, to me, it's like, ooh, they're gonna show us his like downfall, and that's what they're doing, and I'm loving it. So that was my favorite part, like him just breaking down. Oh, and we didn't even talk about Val at the very end when she shows up, my girl from Seinfeld. I'm pretty sure you got excited over that because you love Seinfeld. What's her name? Go quick.
From Seinfeld?
Seinfeld.
I'm not that big of a Seinfeld fan. I like it, but I'm
okay.
not.
Well, I watched it because of you. And like, Joe G, a couple of...
You watched it because of me?
Yeah, a couple of episodes.
I'm
when
not
I'd come over and it'd be in the background.
Oh, yeah. That's like me and Golden Girls.
Yeah, Golden
Yeah.
Golden Girls.
I don't know that much about Golden Girls.
Golden
but
Girls, you know what?
It's an excellent background show.
Golden Girls has given me street cred. And I guess I'll bring that up with like fucking Andrew one day, but just like because of you, my guy, I got cred 2 times in my life. One, I cannot mention.
At your job.
Yeah, that's one that I am gonna mention. My job is like, dang, thank you, Javi, because I knew this Golden Girls knowledge. I gained some street cred right now.
Yeah.
So with Val, I don't really know too much of her. All I know is that she was a super spy, and then had something going on with Nick Fury, a little something, and then
she was really smooth.
She was smooth. I did like her.
Really
Like this little firecracker you married. That was the 3rd thing you did, right?
And then it's like, who are you?
Yeah.
Card.
Yeah.
But it's blank, my guy. Just shut up.
It's gonna probably be something with a UAV light or
I
something.
think maybe.
Yeah, but so all I know is with her is like whenever she gets involved, something's gonna go down. So when they showed her after that courtroom,
But
like,
so who she work for? Spy, but for who? Think for the States?
Hydra at the end. In the comics, she ended up finding out she was a sleeper agent for like Russia and then Hydra. But I don't, in this MCU where there is no Hydra anymore, I don't know. Because they take influence from the comics, but then they make it, you know.
Well, maybe there's a new Hydra, just like Shield's
Hydra.
no longer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in the comics was Shield Hydra as well.
There was some Hydra infiltration, but not as much as like how MCU did it.
Yeah, because that's what happened. Here, Shield got disbanded because it was Hydra.
Yeah.
So now they have their own new thing. Well, maybe they're kind of doing something
Sword?
like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So maybe now it's not Hydra no more. It's something else, a super type of Hydra. I don't know.
We're super duper Hydra now. Oh, super duper Hydra. But yeah, it was a great episode. I loved it. Like, I felt like it was a great setup for the next episode where it wasn't too slow. And even though it wasn't my favorite scene, because my favorite scene was that courtroom thing, my favorite like part of the episode was the whole Bucky and and Sam, the bonding over the boat thing. Carol, did you figure out what's going on? What is your favorite?
I was just gonna say that right now. I think my favorite was the bonding because he was talking about how. Like, it was so tempting when Bucky said
his sister was tempting?
No. When Bucky was like, that's like the closest thing I have to, Steve Rogers. And
boom. There you go.
It was
yeah,
really
the shield.
tempting that I was like, oh my God, just give it to him. He needs, like, he wants it, you know. Like, it's just like... And when he was walking away, it's just like, oh my God, I feel like he deserved the shield.
Yeah, I definitely would be a fan of him being the shield, but I love that even more that you brought it up. I completely forgot to bring it up, but he was talking about how like that shield is the closest thing I have to family. So that makes me think he is dead. Steve Rogers. I think. I think Steve Rogers is dead.
But I wonder what happened.
Maybe just time. My man was like 100 and something, my guy,
Well, and then we just need more information about the super serum then.
Yeah.
Because how come Bucky hasn't aged like that?
He was frozen. He was...
Bucky?
Yeah. True. That is true. Fuck. But he's been more alive. Fuck. We don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's
he's been walking around
he's been walking around a lot more. He was frozen
Steve
for a
was
cool
frozen.
Minute, but Steve was frozen. He was like...
He didn't age.
Yeah. We don't know. It's just like the fucking shield. We need to know what the fuck is actually going on. Maybe it's because it was Hydra's super version of their...
Just different?
Just different.
It could be.
But with that whole shield thing, where that was the closest thing he had to family, that's why I appreciated that shot at the beginning of the fight a lot more when he dropped it to Sam, because he idolizes, he loves
he wanted
Steve.
To keep the shield.
Yeah, he wanted to keep the shield, but because he trusts and his bro shit with like Steve, like he loves Steve and values
Steve
and stuff.
gave it to him.
Steve gave it to him, where like, you know what? I trust Steve.
Dude, that had to
and
be
Steve
a real punch to the dick when that fucking happened.
Oh,
at the funeral?
At the funeral?
No, it wasn't at the funeral when the shield gave him away. It was just right
at the
after.
end of Endgame?
Yeah.
But he trusts Steve. That's why I felt...
I know he trusts him, but that had to be a real fucking just want to... you don't get the shield guy.
Yeah. But yeah, that's why I love that shot even more, because like it's like, you know what? Steve gave this to you, and I believe and I hope and I trust Steve that he was right, so he gave it back to him. So that's why I love that moment that you brought up when he's like that shield. That's why I flipped out so much, is because that was the closest thing I have to family. Because other than that, I have nobody. So when you retired it, I've lost everybody because I didn't have anybody or anyone.
Yeah,
to
and
deal
the
with
closest thing he has to him is the book.
Yeah, and then the book too. Yeah, and then that's when they brought up the whole, closure shit and everything. But yeah, I thought it was a great episode. I'm super looking forward to the next episode. I'm just hoping it's like an hour and 30-minute episode, even though that means less sleep for me because I like to watch this bad boy as soon as I get back from work. But it'll be worth it. Thank you guys for checking out the Marvel's A Couple of Guys after show special. Just a couple of guys of this episode. It's your host, Isaac, the man with the plan, the one who is going to beat Javi in a few rounds with King K. Rool and destroy him and also send him to the Shadow Realm. And
then he wakes up.
And he wakes up. And your co-host, the man who retired King K. Rool and is adopted the Yoshi Rain, is your man's.
Your main man's Hobbs.
And North Carolina. I'm gonna get you a North Carolina beanie. You can rock that.
We need to get a few different states.
All states. We're gonna give you 50 beanies. That's gonna be the videos from now on. It's like every single video you're gonna be rocking a different state.
I like it a lot.
Thank you guys. Have a great day, a beautiful day, all that stuff. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Spinal Countdown.